how's it going? Hopefully everything is going awesome with you guys. Welcome to another Crushing the Meta video. My name is JJ. Nice to meet y'all. So right now, as you can see, that there's a draw PG here on the screen. It's a reprint, which has been reprinted in the V Special Series Clan Selection Volume 2, which is going to be coming out on April the 2nd, I thought. So it's not even going to be an April Fool's joke. It's actually serious. It's actually pretty close on its way. And we're going to be taking a look at some of the reprints and some of the new cards that some of these clans are going to be getting. Some of the reprints are some of the core cards that if you, as a player who wants to get into V format or into premium format, when that rolls, into V format or premium, you can use some of these cards to help you out and, you know, have a solid start to a clan that I love playing myself. These cards might not be the strongest that we've seen in a very long time, as stated by a lot of players who's been testing it, but I can assure you it's a very good jump off point for anybody who's interested in playing some Vanguard. Alright, cool, let's get into it. We have the reprint of Twin Blader that came out in the United Team Q4 set, and also reprinted in Festival Collection, and reprinted again in Storm of Blue Cavalry, and we'll be getting it again in the V Series collection. So it's been printed 4 times, so hopefully if you didn't have it now, you're gonna have it again. Alright, and then we are getting a Beast Deity Glands Dragon. This was also printed in Heroic Evolution, which was extra booster set 7 as a double rare. So I'm excited to see, you know, that to come back again, and especially since all of the support cards that we're going to be talking about are going to be Beast Deity related, and this is actually a very good attacker on an axle marker, so this is really nice. So it is a 8k grade 1, once per turn when your other unit attacks. Doesn't have to be a Beast Deity unit. If you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Beast Deity in its card name, Soul Blast 1, stand this unit. Nice. Sadly enough, it does not work with like strides or anything like that, so it, you know, it's not gonna restand if you're attacking with a stride, but it's good nonetheless. Then we have Beast Deity Scarlet Bird. When placed during your main phase, Soul Blast 1, stand all of your units. All of your units. Yes, you heard me correctly. It also includes your Vanguard, so if you're playing against, I don't know, Zombaku or any other unit or clan that forces you to rest your Vanguard or keep your Vanguard stunned for a turn, you can stand them, which is nice. And if you do stand 2 more U units, it's only during your main phase though, so you can't really call it during the battle phase, so future proofing for any mid-battle call shenanigans. Beast Deity White Tiger is in your soul, which is the starter for Beast Deity, the V-Era starter, the on-ride draw 1. And quick shield. If that's in your soul, you get to draw a card additional, which is nice. So then we have Beast Deity Live Tauros, which is one of the new cards that are coming on the Clan Selection Plus Volume 2. The power is what changed the world. The power is what changed the world. I thought it was... Okay, sure. Out of Vanguard Circle. When placed during your main phase, if you... during your main phase, you may stand one of your units with Beast Deity in its name. So you can also target your Vanguard with a skill, which is nice. But it's also during your main phase as well, so no mid-battle call shenanigans. Auto, Vanguard Circle, Vanguard Circle. When your Vanguard attack hits, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 grade 3 with Beast Deity in his card name from among them, put into your hand and shuffle your deck. If you put a card from your into your hand and its unit's on Vanguard Circle, put its unit into your soul. So this is top 3 grade 3 searcher. So in case you don't want to play like Adishad or any of the other grade 3 searchers that can do that, you have this to search for your grade 3s for you, and it also gives you back to your soul, since a lot of these units and a lot of cards you're going to be playing actually costs a whole lot of soul for you. So hey, you know, that helps a lot. And then another reprint that came out is the Ultra Beast Deity Luminal Dragon, which is Vanguard Circle once per turn at the end of the battle that your Vanguard's attack did not hit. Cost, Counterblast 1, stand that unit, and it gets 10k power until the end of turn and attacks your opponent's Vanguard, which is Pretty neat. Pretty neat. And then it has Vanguard Circle once per turn. When your other unit attack hits, this unit gets plus 15k until end of turn. Not bad. So when it hits anything, so if you can attack with your Vanguard into another rearguard, you're good to go. It's pretty easy. And then we have one of the newer cards. One of the new cards that's coming out. Beast Deity Typhoon Bird. She is a grade 2 act. Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. Once per turn. If you have a Vanguard with Beast Deity in its card name, cost. Counterblast 1. Look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck. Call up to 1 card with Beast Deity in its card name other than grade 2. So you cannot chain these together multiplicatively. You can only choose non-grade 2 units. From among them, call them to Rearguard Circle as rest. So you can also target, you know, something here. And the thing is, Taurus can also target himself. He can target himself to restand. So you can call a Taurus out to your deck, restand your Taurus, attack for, you know, 17 or something, whatever you need to. Or you can call, I don't know, Scarlet Bird out of your deck, I guess. Which is nice, and you can stand like 2 units that you have rested, so you have a lot of like interesting playability because the Scarlet Bird also calls itself at rest and it stands all your units, so Scarlet Bird also targets themselves too. And then he Counterblast 1, okay, and that's it. That's all that skill is. It's very simple. It's basically a you know, it's pretty much just a +1. Nothing else to say about it, and it can be used Vanguard and Rearguard Circle. It does, however, it does cost a Counterblast, so you might want to be careful about your resources. And Beast Deity Ethics Buster, where they're actually using the Vanguard 0 ranked reward version of it, which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice that they're doing that. Pretty sick looking art, not gonna lie. And then there is a SB version you could potentially get, and there's also the triple rare version you can get as well. And it has the Vanguard Circle. Auto, when placed or rode upon. Cost. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Stand one of your units with Beast Deity in its card name. And attack your opponent's Vanguard with that unit. So you can, you guessed it, you can target your Vanguard with his skill. And you can actually get a free attack off after you get your Axel marker. So technically, you're discarding 1. You're technically discarding 1. Because you get a card off the Axel marker. The Axel 2, especially if you're going Axel 2. Attacks it, and at the end of the battle that it did not hit, stand that unit, and if that attack hit, that unit gets drive -1. So it did put in consideration that the drive -1 is going to be your Vanguard. And then auto, Vanguard Circle, when your unit with Beast Deity in its card name attacks, Counterblast 1, that unit gets plus 5k power until end of turn. So, there is a very interesting ruling with this thing. It's like if you ride on this with another ethics buster, it's advisable to ride it when your opponent is on 4 or 5 damage and you're playing critical triggers, because you force your opponent to guard this, which is kind of nifty. It's kind of nifty, but you can minus yourself if your opponent actually thinks about, you know, maybe you're only playing front triggers and they don't really care about the damage that they're taking, but usually you might want to use the re-ride on top of its skill if you're on like 4 or 5 damage, which is kind of nice. But, you know, sometimes your opponent might risk it for the biscuit and just take the damage and hope that you don't sack them with a crit, which can end up punishing them. But hey, you know, it's kind of cute. It's kind of nifty. You can kind of, from versions that I've been testing currently right now, I've been only playing Buster and Aluminal. You could also test and play with the other one, the other grade 3. Give me a second. Where is it? Not Spilling Valiant. No. I know. I keep on forgetting its name. Let's go to a Novus for a sec. Currently in V series. Azure Dragon. Yeah. You could also choose to run Azure Dragons too as well, because it does allow you to draw a card off of it. So you could choose a ratio of 3-3-3 or 4-3-3 or 12 grade 3s if you really want to. So then your Typhoon bird gets more targets. Your Tauros also gets more targets as well. And you can kind of go wide, because you kind of also want to rewrite as well a couple times depending on which version of the unit you want to rewrite, especially with ethics, because ethics is basically a brick ride without the brick ride restriction, you know what I mean, which gives a whole lot of like extra life to the clan. Unfortunately, I don't really think it's going to be too strong, unfortunately, but I mean, you could do some really cheeky stuff with it, that's for sure. It's going to be a really fun deck to play. If you want to have some fun, I do think that this deck is going to be really good. Outside of that, competitive viability, we'll have to see some events happen first before we give our final stay on it. But from the get-go, it does seem that you have to work a whole lot harder in comparison to a whole lot of clans to get the same resources that they get. So that's kind of like my own take on it. I mean, you could play Shout in here, and Shout would give you a bit more card draw, and it would allow you to sort of make use of Tauros and Scarlet birds and stuff, and you can like loop if you get a couple of Scarlet birds going off with also your Shouts too. You'll get to a point where you have too much stuff to going on, you know what I mean? So we'll see how that turns out though. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what happens in the V-Series collection. It is the last hurrah for the V era for now. I mean, we're going to be getting way more V era product, just like how we did with Premium Collection. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to be doing these V series collections selection. I'm very excited to see how that turns out. So be awesome, stay awesome, guys. Have a wonderful day. Thank you all for tuning in, stopping on by. This has been JJ from Crossing a Meta. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Till next time. Bye bye.